What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcasts. I am Justin, here with Meelz. We've got a busy week, sir. We got a lot to talk about this week.
There's a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on. So I'm very, damn, there was a lot that went on. There was a lot that went on this week. I'm not going to
Well,
hold you guys.
this has been a crazy month, just in general,
Uh-huh.
from May all the way up to now, and it has been a crazy 7 days in pro wrestling, which was almost as crazy as the previous 7 days in pro wrestling. But both major companies rather, having to make a lot of adjustments and stuff. So like we're gonna talk about a lot of that stuff.
Facts. I mean, last week was a super heavy AEW show. It almost kind of felt surreal, but we're back with mostly WWE stuff. But I was like, damn, we talked a lot about AEW last week. I don't think I've ever talked about them niggas in my life as much as I talked about them.
And it's still a heavy AEW show this week, especially on Patreon. And yeah, a lot of stuff's going down,
bro. You know what? You know what I want to say before we move on with anything?
Yep.
I would just like to say I fully appreciate doing this show every week. And as much as sometimes the other stuff in life can be very, very tough and very, very straining on my mental health, on everybody's mental health. I really enjoy and appreciate doing this show. And I say that because, I felt like a lot of like dark things have been happening lately, people dying, a lot of, just kind of the world that's in its place now. And I felt like, I know we've done this for maybe like 242 episodes, but I feel 43. Oh shit. But I feel like I need to say that again, that I very much so appreciate doing the show. I appreciate doing it with you because we talk on a weekly basis about this thing and we get to laugh about it. So I appreciate doing it with you. And I also appreciate everybody who listens and supports us in various ways because this summer we're going to do hopefully we do a lot of cool stuff that you guys will be able to be a part of or experience as well. And that all comes from 243 weeks of you guys listening, stuff like that. So I very much so, I don't know why I'm saying very much so, but I do say that. I appreciate the show.
Yeah, and I'm glad you got that out of the way because our summer theme, it ain't nice.
It ain't nice at all, bro. No.
We got a theme for this summer, and it's such a great segue into that with Meelz being so gracious and appreciative, and that was for y'all, but for everybody else, we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Listen,
we'll see you in a couple of weeks, and it's cool that we kind of are able to take account of what's going on here because like there's so many like there's still people that try and drag you out of that zone. Literally yesterday, I'm chilling, right? I'm chilling, like relaxing, right?
Yeah.
And I go on the Discord and someone sends out like a screenshot of a tweet from somebody who is, I don't know who he is. They, whatever, who this person is. And there is this mountains and mountains of tweets with my government name talking about stuff that I have no clue about, strange stuff. I don't understand it. That is I will never ever understand that type of dedication to someone who tweets things that you might not like. I don't understand it at all. Like I know that there's a lot of weirdness in this community. There's a lot of craziness in this community. What I won't ever understand is how someone could be so upset at someone for like absolutely like nothing. And I find that a lot in this community. is like a kind of like a popular thing to do, and to me it's not bullying. Like, you could never bully me, but at the end of the day, like, please guys, just leave it be. Let me alone. Like, let me alone, bro. Like, I don't do nothing to nobody, man. I talk to my
I No, I was gonna say I was on the Wiretap podcast with Ethan Banks. They do it on the Patreon for Black and Unstable. Shout out to their Patreon. So I was on it over the past weekend. I think that your opinions make people uncomfortable, and I had to explain it. Not necessarily explain it like I'm trying to explain you or something, but I just kind of had to say, like, because that's the only reason why I feel like people get at you. But my thing is, like, you could just ignore, like, the fact that you're in people's brain in that function. I haven't had a complete thought, but the fact that you're in people's brain in this way to me is nutso. Like, it
It's
is
scary. It's
bonkers.
it's it's scary because, like, the crazy part is that, like, I don't even like, when I got it, I would have never known that this was happening, and this had been happening for years. When you go through his tweets, it's been going on for years. I didn't even know.
That's
Like,
true. That
I
type of
had
shit
no
could actually be scary because I've seen people online who, like, I mean, you've seen tweets like that, and then you find out that people would try to, like, kill people and stuff like that. So
yeah.
yeah, that
I
shit
don't
is actually scary. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's weird, and
weird.
it's also very concerning.
Yeah, man, and just and I mean, it's a white dude, bro. You know what I'm saying? I or a white person. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what he going. You know, this person going through in their life. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but hey, I'm not your enemy, brother. Like, I don't know what you're getting off of that, but yeah, it's just weird. It's just weird. Let's go ahead and go to Patreon. We got a lot of shit to talk about. All right, no holds barred. I guess we got to start from the top. With Cody Rhodes. We're gonna talk about the Hell in a Cell match in a few as
Biggest
well.
news in wrestling.
It kind of took over. It kind of took over the MJF stuff in a lot of ways.
Eh, Listen, man, Cody is a very dramatic ass person.
Yeah,
Um, the Cody Rhodes news. I'll be honest with you. I was out. When did it drop? Saturday or Sunday? Um,
drop Sunday.
I was out. And I came back and I logged on Twitter and I was like, "Whoa, he's injured! Damn! Like, we're gonna have to, like, rethink everything. We gonna or is he still gonna have the match? Like, what is the direction of the shows and stuff like that?" But the way WWE moving, it's like, what injury? That don't stop the money. You know what I'm saying?
So, the way they actually told several different stories on Sunday of what happened, and I think it was because they were still trying to come up with the cap. And I'll, I'll talk about. Well, at first they said he tore it working out on the
Yeah,
article. Then on the show they said, well, it started off as a partial tear after the pull apart brawl on Raw last week. Then it became a full tear when he and off the bone. They love saying off the bone.
off the bone. I was like, damn. Like, I'm thinking of chicken and shit. Nigga, fall right off. You know what I'm saying?
So they say all of this, and you know, and I think they did that to kind of cover themselves for whatever, and to make it more heroic, and to, you know, as we'll talk about it, it absolutely did work. But he's supposed to get surgery on Wednesday. He's said to be out 5 to 6 months, which is a blessing. A lot of people said 9, which would have taken him all the way to Mania, and he probably wouldn't have been able to be there. So I'm gutted for him, but I was sad. And then I was like, nah, he's gonna be fine. He'll be back soon. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was really sad, and then the match happened, and I was like, all right, he's gonna be good.
Yeah, yeah. We'll talk about it more on the thing, but it's interested the plans that may or may not happen. But we'll talk about it more when we talk about Hell in a Cell and Raw.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, major blow. Like, for this to happen at this moment is kind of like, damn, because they got everything behind this man, and it's showing, and the popularity is not waning at all. The moment has not waned at all. We really this is really Cody fucking I
Exactly.
can't I can't even say it. We're really living in the Codyverse, nigga. Like,
Bro, bro,
this is wild as fuck.
I'm shook of what
I'm shook.
of what just let's just wait. Like,
I'm shook at me, nigga. I'm shook at me. I'm
I'm just
shook
like,
that I love this nigga so damn much.
yeah, bro. I'm like, damn, I never would have thought that the Stardust would have been lit like this.
Not even
Uh,
Stardust, like the nigga who just, uh, yo. Sometimes, listen, this is a good situation. Not everybody can be Jordan, you know. Not
yeah,
everybody can be Jordan. You can't be the exec and also be the player and be the star and stuff like that. And I feel like in AEW, he even tried to like pull himself back so it wouldn't be so much of attention. But I guess it just grabbed him. He's a wrestler now. He living his life. He living his best life, and he's at the top of the world right now. 2022 belongs to Cody thus far, man.
yeah. More injury news.
Mm.
And I kind of want to talk about, and I don't know if we should talk about now or during the match, but it's like the difference between the way that this was presented on both shows, right? So we got more injury news. CM
Right.
Punk, who had just become AEW World Champion, hurt his foot, or they didn't really actually say what happened, right? So
No.
the way, and this is just shows the two different types of ways that they presented this, because WWE was absolutely transparent in the way they did it. They had to be. This was their main event with their biggest star, which again, CM Punk is AEW's biggest star. So you would think they would be transparent about that as well, right? So WWE announces it. They say, okay, he's still going to go forward with the match. CM Punk hurts himself. And I feel as though, let's be clear. I think both injuries are serious, but I think Punk's injury might be more serious than what they're letting on. And that's why they
Right.
didn't say anything about it. And he didn't clearly say anything about the foot. It could have been anything, right? So,
But I also think they don't really have their plan of kind of like you just go out and say anything that you want to say. To me, distracts from maybe the points that you're trying to make or the bullet points that you want to hit.
mhm,
Because not only in his promo did you not get an understanding of what the hell was going on, but clearly the announce team didn't know either because Chris Jericho is screaming, "He's relinquished the title." And I was like, "Word." Um, and then they were like, "No, he hasn't. He hasn't at all." And then they literally pop it up on the screen. I'm assuming they're in Excalibur's ear right at that moment
yeah.
because they pop it up on the screen and he has to go like, "Oh, this will be a championship match and blah, 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 John Moxley, blah, 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 the shit that Excalibur does." And I was just like, y'all knew this man was injured since Wednesday. It's Friday.
It's
We
Sunday.
live.
Yeah, actually, no, you're right. Since Wednesday. Since Wednesday.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
I mean, the way it happened was just silly. The fact that he finished the match without being able to literally walk is hilarious. I think it's the way it's presented, right? It's like we don't clearly fully know the extent of the Cody thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because there's a lot of concern. Actually, let's just get it out of the way now so we can talk about the match with unburdened by this conversation, right?
Sure.
There's a lot of concern trolling and virtue signaling about who goes out to wrestle, who doesn't. Now with Punk, the reason I feel like it was way worse than what they were saying is because he couldn't. That's his leg. You know what I'm saying? He cannot walk.
No, he can't. Nah, he can't. You can't do a lot of shit if you got a bum leg. You can maneuver around with a torn pectoral and something with your arm, but your legs are your base. Um, Everything. The way you move, the way you hold people, if you carry people, able to support people, like
Mhm.
you can't do that if you ain't got no legs under you. I completely understand why he ain't work. Like he ain't gonna pull no fucking Cody. You crazy?
But the idea here was that should we be applauding wrestlers for performing hurt? Let me tell you
Um,
right now, almost every wrestler you see out there on a weekly basis is hurt in some way, shape, or form. Just like every single NBA player that you see out there, literally in the finals right now, multiple people in the Celtics are hurt. Marcus Smart ankle is Swiss cheese right now, and he is he is still playing right now.
this might be a bad example, but Triple H, his long title reign 2002 2003, where he had that injured groin and rhythm sad ass pants the entire time. He wrestled monthly, I don't know if weekly, but he certainly was active with a torn groin. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? Like they wrestle
yeah,
if they want to wrestle.
yeah. And I'm not saying my regular ass. Hell no, I'm not wrestling if I don't got to. Hell no.
Fuck
But
out of here.
this is possible. But again, it goes in again, another layer of this is that, he had a torn pectoral. He should have never, ever been out there. This company will not don't let Cody fool you with his end of the show promo where he said, I chose to go out here on my own. Stop it. That's cap. They don't
I believe he had a part of it, though. I believe he's very much so in tune with the story and what this actually means for a legacy and what a moment like this can be.
Yes, but if they did not clear him, he's not going out there.
Absolutely.
Regardless of what he says. They don't even let you walk out there if your head hurt after you get hit in the head. They'll keep you on ice for 2 weeks on concussion protocols. He had to be somewhat cleared by someone literally that day. I'm not going to question the medical behind the scenes there, because if it's worse than what it was, that's really on them for clearing him at that point. But he definitely was cleared, right? So like at the end of the day, there's a little bit of lie, a little bit of kayfabe, and a little bit of truth, and that's somewhere in the middle of what really happened with the Cody thing. Now the Punk thing, the way that was given and announced, it really confuses everyone because you didn't know what was going on. You don't know what the injury is. He's coming out and saying that a whole bunch of bullshit. This it was like a 10-minute promo. It was just like, just say,
yeah. I was like, nigga, come on.
Like, you don't even gotta cry, bro. Like it just came off as like it's two sides. It's so interesting, right? Because a lot of the rumor is that Cody was kind of like, I want to be paid like Punk. You know what I'm saying? And that was kind of the diverging point for those two companies or those two people, right? And it's so interesting this happened to both of them at the same time, and how one company handled it and how the other company handled it. And it's like, now we have this really convoluted tournament, which I'm going to try and explain right now, right? So they moved Jon Moxley up from the number 4 spot to the number 1 contender slot on the AEW ranking list. Tony Khan goes online and says, well, the quality of Jon Moxley's wins were better.
Nigga, so what all this dark shit and elevation dark shit I didn't see Jay Lethal in years, but apparently that nigga's in the top 5. You know what I'm saying?
And they do that to explain this somehow. I don't know how that even makes sense.
Just get rid of the rankings. Like, bro, you wouldn't have to explain shit.
Exactly. So Moxley is the de facto number 1 contender. There will be a match, which
kind of,
mind you, there's going to be a battle royale on Wednesday on Dynamite. I don't know if it's going to open the show, but that's going to determine who's going to face Moxley at the end of the show, which is stupid to me, right? Because why would they have to wrestle twice? They should to get more out of this. The pay-per-view's in 4 weeks, 3 weeks. To get more out of this, why wouldn't they just win the battle royal and then do
wrestle next week?
Exactly.
Listen, man.
Why are they in a rush? Why is it a rush to get this out? You could build
when you get to the rest of the stipulations for this, you can realize why it's not really that much of a rush, to be honest with you.
So Dominion, New Japan Dominion's happening the next week. Terrible looking card, by the way. Tanahashi, who has already been announced as the number 1 contender and was going to face Punk anyway, now has to have a match against Hideki Goto, the biggest loser in the world. No one thinks there is any danger of Tanahashi losing to this dork. He's a loser. So he has to face a loser who's probably lost his last 3 matches. I don't know, but hasn't beaten Tanahashi, I know, in years. Has to face this guy in order to actually re-qualify to be in this AEW title match at Forbidden Door. So after they have that match, the winner of Moxley versus whoever will have that match.
Even Moxley, not Moxley versus, Moxley versus whoever will face
whoever there at Forbidden Door. But why would the AEW person even? What made Goto the number 3 ranked guy or number 2 ranked guy to face Tanahashi?
Listen, I'm sure if you bring this up on Twitter, Tony Khan will answer you. And actually, you got to point out that New Japan is the best fucking guy.
And so the winner of that will be the interim champion until Punk gets back, whenever he gets back, and then they got to face each other.
Chile. Listen, I brought up a good question on Saturday morning. I said, "What if the interim champion gets injured too?"
Well, and that's one thing that's interesting because there's a lot of like Bryan Danielson is injured right now as well.
Yeah.
And granted, he's not expected to be out that long. I think it actually is not good timing, but it's perfect timing for this because Mox doesn't have to be in that group right now as he recovers, and they can still have him doing stuff with whoever is going to be in that battle royal match. But AEW, I feel like a lot of the way that they work is starting to catch up with them with a lot of their people being out. They have a lot of people on that roster that are out with injury right now. Yeah.
Listen. He gonna
Good luck,
catch up.
man.
He gonna catch up.
Good luck.
I'm. If I had to make a prediction, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see Adam Cole versus John Moxley.
He's injured too. He's injured too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Shoulder.
Yikes.
He's expected to be back at the end of the month, but he definitely won't be in the Battle Royal this week.
Damn. Then who?
Jericho.
Ooh.
I think it's going to be Jericho. I think the best thing you could do is to run back Jericho Tanahashi at Forbidden Door.
Jericho wrestling twice in one night.
He don't got to wrestle a lot in the Battle Royal.
Oh, yeah. Nah, his Battle Royal steez is very much so hang on the rope and keep hanging there.
Lay down. I think that the best way you could do it is to bring that storyline to the forefront. The Blackpool Fight Man guys and the Jericho Jerkoffs, and have them face each other for that interim title. Oh, I'm gonna pray for y'all niggas at the War Report. I'm praying for y'all.
God bless. God bless. I'm sure Quan will love it, but I love Quan. Please don't hurt me.
Let's get into some business news. Stephanie McMahon.
This is a weird year for McMahon. Good Lord. You know why? This is funny to me because every time I think of this, I think of Shane McMahon ruining the Royal Rumble and then being excommunicated immediately the hours after.
For nothing. For nothing.
He was supposed to face Seth at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying?
I know Seth is like, you know what? I'll lose 3 times. It's better. Anything's better than anything's better than Shane McMahon. Business Insider had a really, really interesting story that came out a couple of days ago, talking about the exit of Stephanie McMahon and why she was ousted from her role and took a leave of absence. Apparently, the leave of absence basically said that the actual leave of absence thing was actually planned on was planned on by Vince McMahon. He said, just take a leave of absence. We're not going to say we let you go. But one thing they bring up in this article is his comment on the Pat McAfee show where he says, I've expected more from my family members than of other employees. And you have to do the right thing for the business. If this person isn't working out, they shouldn't be part of the company. They say in the article, the views were echoed by other insiders of WWE. Family or not family, we've got to have the right people in place, adding that there's only one person in charge, and that's Vince McMahon, and that WWE is currently looking for someone to fill Stephanie McMahon's roles. The actual reasoning that they let Stephanie go was because they felt as though she wasn't pulling up her end of the bargain in terms of ad and brand partnerships. They were very, very low. They did not come in at the expected amount, which I believe was around like 100 million or something like that. They expected to make $100 million in brand ad sales and brand partnerships annually because they want to match what UFC brings in, and they were not seeing that growth. And they said, they said a source stated that when someone's moved out of a company, it's usually a result of something not working, and we took stronger control of it of that a few months ago. Yeah.
I'll be honest, this is better than the rumors that we thought that were there.
Yes,
like way better.
I don't even want to get into those rumors.
No, we're not going to get into those rumors, but this is way better than the rumors that we initially heard. But this is insane when you think of how WWF started to now, and literally the giant that they've become, and legitimately Stephanie McMahon getting screwed by her own what's best for business mantra. Yeah, I mean, you know what? not everything lasts forever, bro. And I'm sure she's come to terms with that, and I've come to terms with that. Like, just things don't last forever, except if you're Vince McMahon. But I don't even know if that's gonna last forever. I mean, quite frankly, Vince McMahon in this business that was supposed to be like this, you would initially thought was going to be this family business. We all thought that, and back in the day when Vince McMahon decides to pass it on, it's going to be passed on to Stephanie, and then it's going to be passed on to their children and stuff like that. And he's like, "Nah, bro, I'm trying to pass on this money." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm
No,
trying to make us rich. You know what I'm saying? And to make us rich, you gotta go.
it says a lot. I think again we love talking about kind of like the business, the behind the scenes. I love talking about the business side, behind the scenes marketing side. Like I thought they, on the outside looking in, I thought they were doing great as in terms of marketing.
She was bad bitch of the year 2022 from and all types of corporate shit. You know, magazine covers, top
Usually
10.
pay for it. Usually pay for shit like that though.
Oh, all
I will say
right.
that.
Well,
Usually you buy into to awards like that sometimes.
had that big Connecticut smile on that shit, man. She was rocking. She was moving. I was like, okay, I'm all grown up now. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, but
It's
not
it's
everything works
usually
out.
it's usually a sense of they want to be looked at in a higher capacity, and I think that WWE is ubiquitous in terms of just like their marketing deals for the past couple of years, especially as they've kind of moved over to like a content company in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But I know that they want to do more now. Like what I saw in Dallas was definitely a start, and if they want to do more than that, then like get fucking ready because like it's gonna be crazy if they want to do more than like, if you want to do 100 million. Think of how much stuff you see UFC on, and that's tap out gear that you see UFC in fucking Target. WWE wants to be ubiquitous like that, and
Mm,
it takes a lot to do that. And I think really, and we say the same thing as far as like finding like professionals, and we say that, oh, we got to find athletes and stuff like that. It's like they want to get people that have the acumen from other companies that have done this well. And with Stephanie, she's only really kind of worked at WWE. It's like we need to have pros that come from Netflix and Disney and Dazen and a lot of other places. You know what I'm saying? Like they want people that come from the new media world. And Stephanie's kind of been around for a minute, and it looks like they felt like they needed to go a different direction. And I think that's something that is going to be interesting to look at going forward. And if it's like, yo, if we need someone that knows how to do this shit better, they're gonna go find it.
damn. So what does Stephanie do now?
They said in Business Insider that there's no inclination that she won't be back, but there's no inclination that she will be back in the near future. So on their talent, maybe. Behind the scenes, absolutely not.
Mm. All right. I mean, listen, had a good run, man. Do you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
What was it 1990? Whatever, man. Had a good run. Had a good job.
for a while.
Yeah. You take that resume anywhere. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, you take that resume anywhere. You say, listen,
Free agent news.
ooh,
We're gonna do like a round robin here, really quick. Bray
okay.
Wyatt changing his name, making cryptic posts saying that it's almost time. He's almost ready to come back. Are you ready for Bray Wyatt to come back?
Uh
That says it all. That says it all. Cesaro, it's been said that he's still making his decision, but he has been laying low lately, and all signs point to him possibly potentially returning back to the WWE.
he's saying, I've read reports that he's spending time with his family right now because he probably has not done that in quite some time. He's chilling right now. I support it. Drink your coffee, your espresso, take care of your kids, you know. But you know what? I don't know where he goes because I would like to say I think everything over the past year has kind of like flipped my head in terms of the decision. It really just kind of depends on the person he is and what he wants kind of out of things. You know what I'm saying? Um, but
I mean, you said it. You said it. You pretty much said it right there. He's got a family now, and
yeah,
if you got a family now, you go to where the money is. And I think, Cody said it. A lot of people said it. KO has said it. You got to go to where the money's going to be. And if he sees more output doing in WWE, then that's where he's gonna go. But I think he returns. I really do. They imagine Walter gets the IC title and Cesaro comes out that next week, and we finally get that match that I guess we were supposed to get when they had it in the UK a couple months ago, and then he left. Like we need to see that. The streets need that.
Hey man, don't write my guy Ricochet off.
Oh, he's getting he's getting he's getting fucking washed. Okay. Lastly, the Gargano family, Johnny and Candice, may return imminently. People are pushing Candice to go to AEW. Johnny not been said where he's supposed to go, but a lot of people feel like he's going to lean to WWE.
I'm assuming they're not going to go to separate places.
No.
I'm assuming so wherever one goes, the other is going to go. Now, because that's just, family, girlfriends, wives, baby mamas, all that type of stuff. You don't want to muddy the water in two different companies and shit like that. So I'm assuming anywhere that if I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, can I say that?
Not after this. You can say it.
What a lame.
Are you gonna let it play out with Athena in AEW, or is it you think it's cooked?
I think it's a great defense for Jade. Athena is very, very giving. She's very, very giving in the way that I think a lot of people in AEW aren't.
Oh, basically, she'll take some clean pins.
She'll take some clean pins. She'll give her a good match. They'll put on a show. So I'm supported. I don't know where Johnny and Candice gonna go though. I have a strong feeling it's gonna be AEW. I feel like I'm not gonna enjoy what I like because, to be honest with you, where does Johnny Gargano fit in WWE right now?
Do they want him? Do they want him?
Yeah, they don't need him. They really don't need him.
I feel like they still want him though.
I think it would be nice to have. You know what I'm saying? You could. I think something would be nice to have, but not necessarily need him. I think a replica championship would be nice to have for me, but I guess I don't really need one.
I think that controversy here. Candice would be better suited in WWE in a lot of ways. To me, she'd be better suited there. However, I don't know, man. I really just feel like I really feel like I can't see Johnny I can't see Johnny in AEW doing the same thing that he was doing in the Indies. He's older than that now. Like he's too old for that now.
But to be honest, I didn't think I would see Adam Cole move. I was like, nigga, you got a Made in the Shade with lemonade, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Vince is too scary, bro.
Yeah. I was just like, bro, what is going on here? But
it's too scary, bro. He can take it.
They change everybody's names, changing everybody's gimmicks. It just really depends on the type of person Gargano is. Does he want to be a fucking astronaut? I don't know. I don't know. Wrestling astronaut? I don't know. But he might have to be if he's back in the WWE. You know what I'm saying?
He can't just be wrestling. He can't be wrestling.
Nah, it's not wrestling man right now. They trying to do that with Ciampa, but
no,
I feel like they're gonna.
Ciampa's like a sneak attack nigga. Like
but that's because they ain't got a plan for the nigga.
Oh yeah, they do got a plan for him. You're right. They got a plan for him. They do. When I saw,
no, I feel like they don't have a plan for Ciampa, and that's why he's just sneaking attack motherfuckers. That's
I think
my
they do.
thing.
You need somebody chaotic like that in the show. I think it's cool to see who's gonna land on. He's there, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
But he hasn't even said a word.
He tried to that one day.
He tried. They cut him off, but it is what it is.
I think you should lipo on Ciampa. I'll just say that with what I know. I would lipo. I would lipo.
Interesting. Is it a very good judgment that you have?
No.
All right. It'll
No.
be a new day. All right, cool.
Okay, let's get into Hell in a Cell really quick before we
Yeah,
get to the main shows, because I mean a lot of shit happened on Raw on this
bro.
week. Triple threat championship match between Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, and Asuka. Is who better than Asuka and Becky, but who better than Bianca being added to that, and these three being kind of the top of their game right now?
Whew, the BBA, man. Listen.
What? What?
These three did not miss at all. I loved it. I was like, I think Taryn once said, she said it on the internet. She was like, yo, the cardio these ladies must have to pull off this match. TJ Wilson said, we gonna do this, we gonna do that, we gonna do this, and we gonna do a little bit of that too. And make sure you know, get a little German suplexes in there too. Listen, this was one of the best triple threat matches I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. I was so scared. I was like, man, y'all be so scared about Bianca title defenses. Then I was scared. I was like, oh,
wait a minute. That's the win. God damn, wait. No, it was, listen, that was a good way to kick off that show. If you had any doubts on the direction of that show, you was like, oh, it's just a Raw branded pay-per-view. Oh, it's just, you know, this match was like, all right, we kicking in the door.
And to be fair to everyone else there, Bianca's had a string. I think this is Bianca's second classic of the year to me, by the way. But like, she's had a string of really good matches. And again, I said this before, she's turned the corner and become her own kind of ring general, if you will. But I think that just selling presence, you can't deny her anymore. You can't deny her anymore. And it just feels good to see all of our faith kind of rewarded with Bianca Belair right now, and to be continued to be rewarded with her, you know. So I mean, Hell in a Cell in general, Meelz was a good show. I'm not afraid to say that. It was really solid show. Like,
absolutely.
I liked it a lot. Bobby Lashley handicap match between Omos and MVP, way better than it had any right of being. I thought I popped huge for the Cedric Alexander appearance. I was like, okay, wow, they really played that off. I thought it was really well done, because they could have easily have not done that.
He on TV, man. People was like, yo, stop playing with Cedric Alexander. I was like, this nigga's on TV every week. He's doing something. You know what I'm saying? Whether he's annoying or not, there's obviously some sort of direction they trying to go with, hopefully, with him. But he's on TV every week and was a part of this feud. And I think, to be honest with you, I think that's something that Bobby and MVP probably like really wanted him to be a part of this thing. They didn't want him to just get lost in the shuffle of all of this. And I'm sure Shelton would have been part of it too if he wasn't injured.
He's injured?
Yeah, Shelton's injured.
Damn, what happened? What happened? I didn't even hear that.
I gotta look it up, but I'm pretty sure he's injured.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm sure he would have been a part of it as well. But listen, Bobby Lashley, he is one of the most, I don't want to say protected, but he's one of the most dominant wrestlers of probably the last like 2 years. Like, he's beaten everybody except Roman, to be honest with you.
Never happened. Ain't happening.
He's beaten Brock. He lost the title but didn't even get pinned for the title. You know what I'm saying? He won at Mania this year. He won at Mania last year. He won, pretty much beat up Goldberg's kid. You know what I'm saying? The man is on a roll.
Had a really good non-Goldberg match also that people kind of forget about.
Right.
That no holds barred match between these two was really good.
He is on a roll, which makes me think of like, yo, could it be up next? But he's not up next. But could he be in the future?
So I think he's fine where he is. I think he said, I got that title twice, or I got that title once. I did it. Hall of Fame career already. Let's be clear. Hall of Fame
career. His
run
run already better than his first run. I'll tell you that.
Oh, absolutely. That's absolutely. Madcap Moss, man.
Listen, man.
Some shit in the world you just can't explain.
Listen, man. I ain't with it, but God bless him. You know what I'm saying? I'm still not on the Madcap train. You know what I'm saying?
When he kicked that ambulance open, you didn't feel nothing?
No, fuck no.
when he kicked that ambulance open, you didn't feel nothing? That's crazy.
Fuck no.
That's crazy. Wow.
He needed a cooler look.
He
Black trunks. Do you think you Stone Cold Steve Austin, nigga?
I think it reminded me of 04 in a good way when he came out with the black trunks.
I was just like, bruh, come on now. At least put a design on the bitch. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
no cap.
No more cap.
He been saying that on Instagram. I was like, all right, nigga, come on now.
Oh man, no, but really good match, way better than people thought it was going to be. I said, man, stop sleeping on Baron Corbin. Like when it's time to, especially in garbage matches like that, like where he has like weapons and shit. Baron Corbin rarely ever has bad matches when weapons are involved. Let's just look at his resume.
As long as this feud no longer has to continue, I'm a full supporter of everything that has gone on.
But where does he go next? I think like SmackDown's very Gunther. You think?
Madcap?
Yeah.
I have no high hopes for him. But hopefully he's in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Hopefully he's in that match.
He told me tag team. Hey, Max Dupree, he needs a model. Madcap Moss is the perfect person to go.
Nah, man. The way they got fucking Mace. Have you seen Mace lately?
Nah.
That nigga's beautiful. No, no offense.
I was gonna wait. I haven't looked at his new look. I purposely went away from it because I want to see it on Friday.
He's just a beautiful looking guy. I was like, wait, why you got that face paint on? I was like, yo, this man he's a good looking guy. So I'm assuming that if they go with face, we'll learn who Max Dupree's opponent will be on SmackDown this week, or at least his representative or something along those lines. But
yeah. Main event between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins, Hell in a Cell. Most talked about thing in wrestling right now. I think it's up there in one of the most gutsiest performances, up there with I mean, so many other performances that are just like God.
No offense to anybody listening to this, but you see what happens when you're not circle jerking with your friends. Like,
yeah. and it was just the way that it was built, the way that it was presented, the
unveiling of the injury. You saw the slow jacket. He takes off the jacket. He's almost embarrassed, but he's trying to persevere, trying to keep a straight face to show that his entire pectorals, blue, purple, red, and Seth Rollins looking across from him, laughing in his face. It's like, you are a bitch, and I always knew you were. You sucker. You could never hang with me. You could never step on the throne that I could step on. And then they proceeded to have a classic. It is their performances in your career that stands out. And this will stand out in Cody's career as one of the most amazing things. This might be a career-defining moment, to be honest with you. This might be his Foley falling off the top of the cell moment, to be honest with you.
And it comes from, I feel like Cody kept trying to have moments like this in AEW and in the Indies, in an ROH, in a New Japan. He kept
trying to prove it to the wrong audience, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't say he was trying to prove it to the wrong audience. I think he was trying to force it. And I think
he put himself through a flaming table.
Yeah, he was forcing it. Well, he was forcing it.
Yeah,
a lot of
I
times.
guess.
And it came off as corny. It came off as like, yo, you're trying too hard. This injury in a bad way is bad for, the next 6 months. But it was serendipitous in the way that WWE has been trying to present him. They now have no babyface bigger in their company than when he comes back, he is going to be Cena level. Let's just be clear. I'm just being honest with you. I'm not trying to even like
notes, by the way.
Huh?
I forgot to put that in the notes.
Oh yeah, Cena is coming back. But there's no babyface they have that can garner this reaction like Cody's gonna get when he comes back. And this performance just helped it. And one thing I want to talk about is the fact that there were certain things that worked for me throughout it. And I think when WWE does stuff like this right, they really get it fucking right. They kept updating you all day on Cody. They kept updating you the whole time. But did you notice Corey Graves had kind of dropped character, and he wasn't in character anymore during the match. And when he would update us on Cody, I thought Corey Graves gave an all-time call, which enhanced the match on second and third watch for me, where it was like, this is a really great call. He did a really good job, and he took over for that match. I thought, and I thought it was really good. The match itself, there's been 2 times this year that there have been matches where it's like, oh my god, what's next? Like how are they, like, he's not gonna do a bump, is he? It was a Stone Cold match, and there was that moment. It was that moment when Stone Cold took that suplex on the outside of it, and I said, okay, he's all the way in. And on this match, it was when Cody took that power bomb through the table, and I was like, all right. Well, no, it was even before that. Shit, there was a lot of moments. No, he did the Cody Cutter, and I saw that. Okay, this nigga's all in.
Yeah,
he did a Cody Cutter first 2 minutes.
I was like, all right, listen, the performance, bro, the performance of it all. I mean, people talk about sports entertainment, people talk about professional wrestling, but you cannot deny that was amazing in the way they carried that across, man. That was Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes. I gotta take my hat off for you, and we go talk about it when we get to Raw too, because the saga continues.
Yeah.
But I think, first of all, people weren't very happy about Hell in a Cell. WWE announced literally next day, most watched Hell in a Cell pay-per-view ever.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit.
It was serendipitous. This injury was serendipitous to this show because it raised the intrigue in a way that is interesting. Why it didn't, I feel like that didn't raise the intrigue in the AEW stuff more than just the internet, right? Like, it's really interesting
Absolutely.
that it raised the intrigue for this, but not that. It's like, okay, it's just a talking point. I'm not trying to compare. I'm just saying, like, I wonder why that was the case. I haven't seen a match like this ever. It's unexplainable how good that was, and I think Cody is going to be the biggest star when he comes back, and I think WWE needs to do something cool, like do updates on him, throughout the next couple of weeks to figure out, what they're gonna how they're gonna bring him back. But right after the break, we're gonna talk about Raw,
right?
And we got more Cody stuff, and we got a bunch of big swerves on Raw. Be right back.
Bit of limitations holding us back, which is you.
Oh! Unbelievable!
What the hell is going on?
What am I watching right now? What is happening right now? We're watching the ultimate betrayal.
The patriarch of the Judgment Day being sacrificed before our very eyes.
This is the man who created the Judgment Day, who recruited Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest.
The man who set Priest and Ripley free.
Big swerves on Raw this week. A lot of stuff to talk about too. Raw was
it was a show where things happened.
Yeah, it was an unnaturally busy show. Coming off of it. Listen, if you would have told me a week ago that all this shit would have happened and they would have had to change course, when they changed course this time, they changed fucking course. Like, they changed the fuck out of the course of what happened on this show, and we're going to talk all about it. But one thing that they kind of have stayed steady with is the Riddle stuff going on, with Riddle showing up on both shows to be a thorn in the side of the bloodline. He has set his target on Roman Reigns against the Usos, and especially against the Usos after losing the contender match on SmackDown last week, and he's continued his goal to reach Roman Reigns on this show, teaming up with The Miz this week. I thought it was a really enjoyable segment with The Miz. Riddle's really over, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Over like Rover, bro. I can see him challenging Roman Reigns and it being a match first of all. But he really wants Roman. He was like, nah, fuck it. You murk my mans. I'm trying to come after you. Like, fuck all the bullshit. And I support it, man. Riddle versus Roman is
it's a big time match.
It's a big match. It's a big match. These might be like one of those. You remember when like before Stone Cold really became Stone Cold, like he'd have that championship match on a pay-per-view or something, maybe like just one-off match, and he'd lose, but he'd be better. The performance would come out better from it. This is like now we putting Riddle into orbit.
Right.
Now we gonna put Riddle. He may not be the plan, the end goal, but he's certainly in the orbit now. And they're making him, which is interesting because he's having to transition from a less silly role to a more serious role, and he's still kind of killing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And had a solid match with Miz in the tuxedo.
Listen, man. Miz doing Miz things, baby. Anytime, any place. You feel me? Miz and Mrs. Season 3 premiered at 11 o'clock after Raw. You bet I was tuned in.
Yeah, I was not. Ciampa actually came out to attack Riddle to lead to this match. I thought he was, being sneaky man is cool, and I think it'll lead to a match. I hope it leads to a match with Riddle and Ciampa because they'll tear the house down, and I think that would be what Ciampa really needs to kind of get over there. I think what Ciampa needs right now is to get with like a veteran, and have that veteran kind of solidify him, and I think that I hope they do that soon. Cody Rhodes opened the show, however. Gave a really solid promo.
Rousing, reverend-esque, stirring.
Oh man, never fully says what we all know, which is that he has to go away for a while. But Seth Rollins does interrupt him before he gets to that, shakes his hand.
I believe he said that on purpose.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
I believe he said it on purpose. First of all, he came out. I've never been more amped for fucking Cody's theme in my life. I screamed, "Wow!" I felt like this was the anime protagonist, nigga. This is he the guy right now, man. I don't know, man. He comes out, does the speech. Of course, he says never truly mentions it. Seth Rollins comes out, and it feels like we're getting a serious moment. Did you ever think that he was going to lower the boom? Did you feel like it? Or did you just like assume that this was over, we're moving on now?
You got to have a write-off, and since Seth lost, he had to get his heat back, so no.
Seth lost in that funky-ass suit. My man came to shake his hand. As Cody's waving his goodbye, high-fiving some kids. I was about to say kissing some babies. High-fiving, talk about his kid. High-fiving his kids, comes up the ramp. Seth Rollins, the new wielder of the sledgehammer. Come on now. He's ingrained it within his own system now. Attacks Cody Rhodes, leaves him out, pressing it in his pectoral muscle, which has been clean off the bone.
He had to stand Winston makeup on again on Monday. I said, the purple's in a different spot today. It's so funny watching like Dave Meltzer say that's exactly what it looks like. I'm like, nigga.
Of course, it's TV, nigga. Cody taking like 5 minutes to refuse ambulance care. He's like, no, nigga, I can walk.
I got this shit.
Y'all will not see me rolled out on a stretcher on Monday Night Raw like them other niggas.
It's an AEW, nigga. They ain't putting the breathing tube on my face, nigga.
I'll walk. Thank you. Good stuff, man. Well, listen. Cody did mention in his promo the Money in the Bank briefcase. And I'm low-key thinking like, yo, do they trot him out for Money in the Bank? Like, legitimately, he only really needs to run up the ladder, grab the briefcase, and then sit out for another 4 months.
That's wild. I don't think they would do that.
I was literally...
No, that's nuts. He's getting surgery on Wednesday. I think that he needs to get surgery. No.
I mean, it could.
I knew you were going there with that, and absolutely not.
You got 2 feet. You ain't no CM Punk with it, man. You got 2 feet. You run up that ladder real quick.
Absolutely not. No. That's not happening. I think you're better. I guess let's get into it. I mean, he's set to be out for 5 to 6 months. I mean, that'll leave it right at about December-ish, January-ish. He's able to get cleared. Do you leave him on the table? I know someone in Discord say, "Oh, they should announce him for Royal Rumble," and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like they should not do that. I feel like the key is you want that Edge pop, you want that John Cena pop for the Royal Rumble.
That viral moment, man, and you can't produce these viral moments like you can anymore, bro. It doesn't come natural.
Have him come out at 28. I think the key here is though, Meelz, is that you have to make Seth Rollins one of the biggest and keep him at that level for a while, but make him one of the biggest heels on the show so that he can finally get his comeuppance by getting thrown out of the Royal Rumble by Cody and kind of closing that loop, if you will, because I think that, I mean, automatically first 2 months in the company, that's like his biggest rival. So, I mean, that to me makes the most sense.
Hey, Seth wins one of the championships. Come on, man. Cody wins the Royal Rumble. Come on, man.
You can do it. I know somebody was like, I can't believe they've been wrestling 100 times on the nigga. If it's good every single time, yes, I'm gonna want to see it every single time because it's different every single time, bro.
That's hilarious. You sound like Kane with the vocoder.
That's how them niggas be sounding, man. Oh no, like really, I think that's the best way to go about it is to just save them for Royal Rumble. And right. I a lot of people are like, well, who do they have without Cody? I'm like, you still got Riddle.
Who they had with Cody before they had Cody. Cody just got here, bro.
You got Randy Orton, who when he returns, it's going to be a huge moment. You got now, and we're going to get into it right now. You got John Cena coming back at the end of the month as well.
Come on, man. Listen, I got to see them dates for John Cena. He ain't missing that Madison Square Garden show. I ain't bought my ticket yet, but I'm about to buy my ticket. But I need to make sure that John Cena there.
I have heard that he is on Theory duty. So
listen, John Cena for the United States Championship again. I'm with it. You got to hold that ugly ass championship. Why not? Why not?
I know people aren't gonna like the Theory thing, but as I said last week, when WWE wants to push you, they do the work. they are doing the work with this kid, and hey, this is our reality.
This is it. This is just it.
This is the reality. The best that we can hope for is that the kid gets better. And working with John Cena, he will absolutely, I feel like, get better. And that's really all you could hope for here. But John Cena returns. What is it? June 27?
Something like that.
June 27th. He comes back. I can see that's why they've kept Theory so strong. But do you do Cena Theory at Money in the Bank?
Nah.
If realistically Roman is not coming back at Money in the Bank, I would do that at Money in the Bank.
I feel like Roman should come back at Money in the Bank. Like, chill out, bro. Like, chill out. Like,
he don't need to be out this long.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, bro. We get it. Big time Roman. Get your ass back. I was just talking to somebody about that. They were like, yo, I was about to go to, Money in the Bank, but they took Roman off and, all these other stuff. But I was like, bro, I don't know what to tell you, man. But all I know is Roman don't need to be out this long. Come on, man.
No, you're wilding. Get your ass back to work, man.
Yeah, bro. Fuck out of here. I don't care who you are.
So, I mean, not much given there, but it is his 25th anniversary, so yeah.
20th.
Or 20th, I'm sorry. I said 25th.
Yeah, you're aging the nigga too well.
The Usos. Listen, man, can they just have the niggas just lose?
I was like, what? It's the Usos. Come on, man.
Don't treating these niggas like they Brock Lesnar.
I was like, you gotta be shitting me. Come on.
Like, come on, my nigga. Like, to be fair, match was really good.
Yeah.
Montez, really good. Fucking Dawkins doing a fucking tope really good, and landing on his feet, really good.
I bet he ain't think he could do that.
He said he's trying to beat the split, the split
allegations, nigga. Yep. You trying to say y'all ain't about to Marty Jannetty a nigga like me?
But then they beat the Usos on a
about
weird.
To be Shawn and Triple H, nigga.
It's about they beat the Usos on a weird count out, and it's like, bro, that shouldn't even really count.
I was like, come on, bro. I was like, all right, come on. I was like, at least they won. But I was like, y'all can't be serious with this shit. Let the niggas get pinned. I don't care what unified they are. You know?
When does this happen? Money in the Bank?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Do they win this? Or do they?
No.
You can't. That's my thing. Like, you can't keep feeding people to the Usos like this. No. They do. No. They do win. I think they do win.
Why do you think that?
Riddle.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
They've telegraphed the Riddle thing. He came right back out when they won the match.
To be honest with you, with the way they shit moving, shit might not even be at Money in the Bank. Shit might be on TV. You know what I'm saying?
I know, right? But they still, I think they're still going to treat Money in the Bank with the reverence that they would a stadium show, because Money in the Bank is an important show. It's funny though. They still haven't talked about the stipulation. They have, and I pay attention to this weekly. They have not mentioned that you cash in the Money in the Bank at all. They have not said anything
off TV, bro. They took that shit off TV.
They have not mentioned that you cash in at any time. They always mention that you can cash in at any time. In the promo for this, they have not mentioned that at all. They said make history. They have not. They've not mentioned cash in. If they are going away from cash ins, they need to say it now. But if they're going away from cash ins, I thank them for that. I'm so tired of the cash in gimmick. It's over with.
It always works for me.
Seth did the best one.
Listen, my favorite wrestler did it twice, so it works for me.
Did he unfollow? Did he unblock you though?
I'm talking about Miz. We're gonna talk about that other nigga when we get to.
Man,
underrated point. So this is the next up on our docket. I wanted to get in front of this. Is almost an MVP turning face, bro?
I thought it was the Dirty Dogs.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I relate to Dirty Dogs. I'm gonna be honest with you. Nothing about them endearing to me.
Well, ain't nothing endearing about Omos MVP to me other than like the diss track.
They cool. Dirty Dogs ain't cool. Niggas just came out from doing a month of nothing.
They had PTO. I'm glad they're giving niggas time off.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
You see what I did for Braun Breaker? And then y'all put him right with Joe Gacy, nigga.
Yeah, man. You know what? You right. Gave him Memorial Day weekend off. Gave him a couple of extra weeks off. You know what I'm saying?
God damn. Biggest point of this. Only one thing I didn't like about this is that they had Rio come right back out 30 minutes later. But this should have ended the show. This should have ended the show.
This should have ended the show. This really should have.
It should have ended the show. But I feel like the moment of that, it is a big deal. So I get
it should have been. I feel like you could have still did like Rhea is the number one contender and like Edge is so proud of her, and the boom would have been lowered even heavier. You know what I'm saying?
So before we get into it, obviously we're talking about the Judgment Day split up. You didn't even put Finn's name on the run sheet this week. That's disrespectful because he's clearly looks like he's the leader, or Damian Priest is the leader. Who's the lead? Who's the biggest leader here?
I'll be honest with you. I have a hard time being convinced that Finn Balor can convince two other niggas to follow his lead at this point when he hasn't won anything significant in a long ass time.
I think he's the leader
now. He's the leader. He's absolutely the leader. He's absolutely the leader. But I have a hard time convincing myself. I was like, nigga.
There's a lot of machinations here. Okay.
I was surprised I saw your tweet. I was like, I'm surprised you didn't come to that conclusion first, because it's the first conclusion I came up with.
There's a lot of machinations here. One being that I do believe this was supposed to happen anyway, just not now. I do believe this was supposed to happen. Always. I know a lot of people are like, oh, poor Edge. I'm like, nah, I think he's gonna be fine. He is he's the arbiter of his own fate in a lot of these programs that he's putting himself into. Let's just be clear here. He absolutely knows what's going down.
Taking some time off TV to grow back his hair. I'm sure that's it.
Cody went down. The balance of power in terms of storylines was grossly out of whack when Cody goes down.
Absolutely.
Because you have Riddle going against the big guy, and Cody was in that upper mid kind of main event slot, where it's just like him and Riddle and Randy kind of switch places every single week, right?
Absolutely.
You needed to do something. I know that it's annoying that this happens, but injuries happen, shit happens, right? If you was okay with the AEW tournament, you should be okay with this. Because
They'll say that because I wasn't okay with that fucking tournament at all.
They did it for the same reasons here. One might have made more sense than the other, right? I do feel like they covered their tracks really well. They still got a lot of work to do, right, Meelz? Because you got to explain the AJ thing. Liv is still out back. I thought that was still something that needed a couple of weeks to go. Judgment Day really just started with the theme. They got to kind of throw that theme out now? Because it's all leading to Edge becoming a babyface again, a babyface with cut hair, if you will. What do you think that conversation was like when they came up to Edge and said, "Yo, we got to do this kind of early now"? Do you think he understood? Do you think he was like, all right, I get it?
Do you want my honest opinion? I feel like this happened. Part of me feels like this happened, and the Cody thing is a great point. But part of me feels like it's happened because Judgment Day, in my opinion, wasn't even working that well.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like now they've got real heat because they've done something actually dastardly and kind of have a true origin story, as opposed to this curated stable by Edge. Nigga curated the lights, curated the music, curated the people, and that wasn't a good enough of an origin story. I do think that this is better. I think this is fresher. I think this is something that we've never seen. I'm interested in the way they carry themselves. Hopefully they carry themselves like some,
And you finally get heel Finn, which is what we thought he was going to come back
right
as.
Absolutely.
And it just changes again, when Cody's
do you get heel Finn as true heel Finn? You know what I'm saying? I think in his NXT thing, he was able to run roughshod and stuff like that.
Well, they can change the whole crux of this group now. They don't got to do the spooky shit no more. You know what I'm saying? Like they can.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, they could do the suits and shit, or they can do whatever the fuck they want to do, but they don't got to do none of that crazy shit no more. And I think it in terms of like with Finn, it's like, all right, bro. It's the same thing they did with Punk. It's like, if you feel like you were really good heel, you got to prove it to them. You really got to prove it to them. And I think that Finn just works so much better being an asshole, and we've seen that, than he was being the smiley babyface that they brought him back as. And they tried it. They gave him a run, and you see what happened.
I think there's more opportunity for him as a heel than there is as a face. There's
Absolutely.
too much, I think, standing in his way. Being a face, and that's shown over the last 6-7 years.
Right.
Like he's been a face, and everyone has kind of realized is like, yo, he could be one of the biggest faces on the roster if they let him cook. But there was always like not even just one person. There's like 3-4 people ahead of him at any various point.
And now the only people ahead of him is Roman, Seth, and no one else. You know what I'm saying? And unless they bring KO up, which doesn't seem like they I don't know where he's gonna go after Ezekiel, but I thought the actual turn was great. I thought Finn was great in that position. I think now looking at it, Meelz, it looks like you get a uneasy alliance with AJ and Edge.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of got to do that, which leads us to Edge versus Damian Priest, which we thought was the WrestleMania program for a time. That's what we were like kind of thinking, oh, he could go against Damian Priest, but it also gives you, drum roll, AJ versus Finn again, which we haven't got in years. And we know they work so well together.
I love it. And I think that's what that's what they're pushing for. Give Finn an opportunity to really be the star that they know that he could be. And listen, this is his opportunity. I'm not saying this is the only one, but this is the biggest opportunity that he's had since he debuted on the main roster.
Yeah. Other than winning the Universal title. But yeah, you're right.
I mean, yeah. I mean, so that's what I encompass it as.
Right.
But yes. This is it. This is it for Finn. This was a great turn. Very rare things you don't see coming. So I appreciated it. Hate it had to be Edge, but listen, he blocked me. I don't know what to say. People who block me, bad things tend to happen. I don't know.
Yeah, Adam
You know?
Pearce, you're right. Adam Pearce.
Well, listen, Adam Pearce been glowing up ever since he unblocked me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. The man, now he's, the one man in charge. Listen.
Damn, Sonya out too. Damn, that's crazy. Main event match was a contenders match between Doudrop, Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, and Rhea Ripley. Had Rhea Ripley come right back out after doing those dastardly things to Edge. But it meant a lot because she got way more heat coming out last. So it does make.
And she like beat up Edge too, which is like lit.
Wasn't that crazy that she was stomping the shit out of him too?
I was like, that's so lit.
I wonder whose idea was that, because usually, you don't really see stuff like that, but it's like Rhea's kind of a outlier. She really gets involved with the men and the women, which I think is really dope. So really good match, by the way. Let me not bury the lead here. That was a really good main event. The women have been killing it in the main event slot for the past 3 weeks, I think 3-4 weeks.
Yep.
They've been killing the main event slot. Doudrop.
We gotta give a shout out to Doudrop. Gotta give a shout out to Liv. Liv now, she gonna be in movies, on TV.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
Liv showing me something. She's showing me something.
She got it, bro.
I'm in.
She got it. She got it.
Give her something.
We questioned it before. Could the perhaps be flying too close to the sun?
Yeah.
But she has shown consistently, and not even just in an in-ring capacity, but just, as a personality himself. Like there's a reason why she is where she is. So shout out to Liv Morgan.
But ultimately, in the end, you can't escape judgment, and Rhea Ripley does win. We thought that they were going to save this match, but it feels as though they're going to go forward with it at Money in the Bank. Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. I've honestly thought it was going to be Becky and Bianca, but I think that it's smart. It is smart in just letting them go their separate ways right now, because it looks like it's going to be Becky Asuka at Money in the Bank, or they're at least going to be both in the same match.
Well, I think because Money in the Bank's proximity to SummerSlam, they were just like, we gotta give this feud a little bit more time to really, heat up in time for SummerSlam. And I think they're
Becky Bianca or Rhea Bianca.
Rhea Bianca.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's they're gonna allow this time to heat up Rhea, make sure that she's as hated as possible, because you going versus the top girl, you got babyface, you got bring it, ain't no half stepping with this, you know what I'm saying? You got to be hated. So I think they're gonna spend this month and a half really heating up, Rhea Ripley. And listen, Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley, this is a dream.
I'm tapped in. That takes Money in the Bank to big time show energy.
The future. This is John Cena versus Batista.
Mm-hmm.
This is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus. You know what? I don't want to say Stone Cold Steve Austin. I want to say The Rock versus Triple H.
Yep.
This is
Becky's your Stone Cold. That's why.
Absolutely. This is Rock versus Triple H. This is just a big time feud that you can see becoming a big time program for not just them, but the WWE in general.
Right.
They got it. I hope it continues, and I'm looking forward to it. Is all I got to say about that.
So before we out, what are we thinking? 6-person or 8-person Money in the Bank this year for men and women?
I mean, they fired all those people, so you know what? I would go. Interesting. I think I would go 6.
6?
Yeah, I would go 6.
So
maybe
we're thinking
7. Maybe 7 max.
Uneven?
Not 8. Yeah, uneven. You know,
They don't never do uneven.
they don't do 7-1s.
So are you to think from the Raw side, Alexa, Doudrop, Liv, off top,
Mm-hmm.
which leaves out Becky and Asuka?
I'm fine with that.
Someone's gonna have to be left out.
Listen, Asuka won it already. She good. She's straight.
Those two got to be in. Liv has to be in it. Asuka has to be in it. Becky has to be in it. Those are the three that I think are shoo-ins. That should be a question. That should be one of our questions of the week.
All right.
Who's gonna be? Because the men, it becomes even with the men, it's fuzzy. KO,
there's so many.
Ezekiel, Ricochet. Does Gunther even dare? What if they did 10 person?
Too early for Gunther.
You think?
Yeah, I think it's too early for Gunther, to be honest with you. We still trying to figure out where this nigga at. I'm praying for my boy Ricochet, man.
You better sit in a circle of candles because
the streets have got him down bad. The odds are not looking in his favor. If I look at FanDuel right now, it's looking slow. So I'm praying for my guy. At least show out. He got to show out.
But yeah, that is it for this week. This crazy week in pro wrestling. If you have not subscribed to the Patreon, we talked about a lot of stuff on Patreon this week. Like a 30-minute segment this week for Patreon. So like, you get that extra content, you get those extra takes and a couple of things that I might have revealed that people are probably going to find out in the next couple of weeks. But $5 down, you get these shows early and you get a bonus. You get a lot of bonuses coming up. We're going to have a Vader episode of Spot Callers coming this month. And a lot more things coming down the pike. Like I said, we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks with some special announcements about the summer of 2022 for the A show. But until then, thank you guys for listening. We're hoping that things slow down a little bit until next week. But even if they don't, we'll be back with the latest and greatest in pro wrestling news. So for Meelz, I am Justin. Thank you guys for listening to the A show. See you next week. Peace.